Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel, Pokemon Ruby Randomizer Nuzlocke. In the last episode, we had a crazy encounter, and we actually fought the crazy girl May. Just so I'd let you guys know, this is actually a voiceover on the gameplay. Unfortunately, I had some technical difficulties when it came to the gameplay, and didn't realize my mic was not set up until 5 minutes of the end of the episode. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a voiceover for you guys to at least get this gameplay out for you, because unfortunately I saved the game after the gameplay, so I didn't lose any of the data, and I didn't want this gameplay to go out of the series and kind of get screwed up. So let's go ahead and get in the team recap. We have the starter Tsunami with Gyarados, with Thrash, and then we also have Mom the Cubone with Growl, Tail Whip, and Bone Club. I actually learned Bone Club in the last episode. And I go ahead and rearrange these moves so my OCD is at ease. And then we go into our next teammate, Drac or Golbat, with Bite, Astonish, Leech Life, and Supersonic. Now, I do want to let you guys know that I do apologize. I am not bringing out the best content for you guys, but I hope that you do still love this series and we keep it going. So we go to our next teammate, North, Articuno, with Gus, Powder Snow, and Mist, and then Hefty, the Metagross himself, with Metal Claw, Confusion, Takedown, and Scary Face. That is our team of 5, and we haven't added another teammate to the team just yet. So we go ahead and go through this route, and then we actually face off against a Voltorb that I have Tsunami just go ahead and use Thrash to get up to her next level, which then she finally learns the move Bite. So we're not locked into a move anymore. And I go ahead and put Bite up front so it is easier, so I can just... I know it's not the smartest thing to do, but so I can just spam A. It helps out with the grinding, and it also helps out with trainers such as this, where I can just hit it real quick, call the battle a day, and then keep going so you guys actually know the story of what's going on. And then I just hit Thrash on this Lydian because Tsunami is a absolute monster and just destroys anything in her path. All the other encounters we basically just roll right through. I run from a lot of them because I'm going to go ahead and do some grinding before the next episode so we can actually face off in the gym in the next episode, which is my plan. It all depends on how this video comes out and everything is all squared away. I go ahead and run through the Pinsir as well, which there's actually some pretty decent mons in that grass, which I don't remember who we caught on this route. Actually, I don't think we did. It was the Raikou that was supposed to be our encounter. Spoiler alert. Unfortunately, we didn't catch Raikou, but I go ahead here and bring out Mom into Skarmory because I was thinking Steel, Ground wins. Not realizing it's also a flying type. Ground won't affect flying. So I bring out Hefty, which is another Steel type, so it won't get absolutely destroyed. And you see the result. I just used Takedown a few times and completely get rid of that Skarmory. Now, when it comes to Steel types, in this gen, the only thing Steel is weak against is fighting and ground, which makes it a really defensive typing. Now, with Metagross, since it's a Psychic type as well, the only thing Metagross is really weak to is ground. So, unless I face like a Golem or a Groudon, I'm not too scared to just send out Hefty as long as he has the levels on him. Now, the last time that I faced a Groudon, when I played a randomized Nuzlocke just to have some fun on my own before I started my channel, I got destroyed, absolutely blown off the face of the earth. It had Solar Beam, Earthquake, Fire Blast, and Scary Face. It was just insane. He would lower my speed so much and then just go straight through my team. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Wally real quick, and this is where I actually put North in front to try to give North some screen time, because we haven't seen North in a while. And I was really hesitant to face Wally, but I was ready. So I'm going to go ahead and read the dialogue real quick to try to keep you guys up to speed when I finally slow down hitting the A button. So with the uncle's voice, I kind of just read it in my own voice. Since you started living with Pokemon, you've grown quite a lot stronger. But you don't think you're pushing it too suddenly to challenge the gym? I'm not pushing it. If I'm combine forces with Roltz, we can beat anyone. Now, Wally's voice is actually supposed to be the surfer dude, yo, and I did do it in the gameplay, but this is like the third or fourth time I'm actually going through this. For some strange reason, my mic actually keeps muting on me, so fingers crossed that this one actually goes through. Wally goes ahead and sends out a Shogun, which is perfect for North. His dragon types are actually very weak to ice types, which North just hits Powder Snow and absolutely destroys Shogun with one hit. Basically, Shogun has one move that he can use against me, and it's Leer. So I just hit Powder Snow again and call the battle a day. And Shogun is destroyed, and we do win against Wally. Uncle, I'll go back to Veneturf. Beagers, thank you. Being a trainer is tough, isn't it? It's not enough just to have Pokemon and make them battle. That isn't what being a real trainer is about. Wally, there's no need to be so down on yourself. Hit-a, Beagers, hit-a! I must say something. I don't quite remember. There we go. Why? What's keeping you from becoming stronger and stronger? Come on, let's go home. Everyone's waiting for you. The uncle comes back and talks to us. Beagers, it's just dawned on me that you must be the trainer who kept an eye out on Wally when he caught his Pokemon. Why don't you visit us in Verdanturf sometime? I'm sure Wally would enjoy it. Goodbye, Wally. And we actually don't see Wally for a while. If I'm not mistaken, it's not until closer to the Elite Four. But what I do is I go ahead and go back to the Pokemon Center, because you all know healing is really important in a Pokemon game. And then I go to the mart to pick up some Pokeballs and some healing. Now, the reason I do the mart like this, I go ahead and buy 10 Pokeballs a piece, because you're actually buying 10 for 11. If that makes sense. You're actually getting a Premier Ball as well, which is really good. And then I go ahead and grab a few Great Balls because, again, that last encounter, if I had a few more Great Balls, I might have caught Raikou, which would have been a really good addition to the team. We go ahead and go to Route 117. I try to dodge all the trainers, and then we get our first encounter, which is Sableye. Now, in the gameplay, I actually mentioned that Sableye really isn't a good Mon until later on in the newer games when you finally get he or she, I always say that, gets a Mega Evolution. So, I wasn't too excited about Sableye, but then come to realize, Ghost is actually physical in this gen. And it means Sableye's gonna hit kind of hard instead of it all being like special moves, like what it is now. But you know, I'm still not a big fan of Sableye. Sableye is just doesn't have an evolution, just that regular Mon that everyone kind of looks over, which is kind of upsetting to me at the same time now that I'm contradicting myself. But again, I still just don't like Sableye very much. I go ahead and go out into Drac to try to confuse Sableye a little bit, to bring him down into the red, to try to catch this guy, this girl. And it takes a while, actually. Most of the time he snaps out of confusion, but he does have foresight, so he can actually hit anybody on my team, whether they're normal type or not. And then I go ahead and have to use Supersonic again to try to get him confused, to bring him down into the red. I apologize. I feel like I'm getting a little sick, so I'm trying not to bring it into the mic and into the quality of this video. So I apologize if I mute the mic every once in a while. This time I'm doing it on my own. But Sableye finally gets confused and hits himself once. Now, it does take another second to catch Sableye, but we don't. I was very, very nervous about Sableye actually hitting herself, because then we lose another encounter and we can't afford that right now. So we go ahead and throw another Pokeball, and this time we actually catch Sableye, which is awesome. So we go ahead and do the Pokédex. Sableye lead quiet lives deep inside caverns. They are feared, however, because these Pokemon are thought to. And then it takes me a while to actually hit the A button here, because I kept getting mixed up on lead quiet lives. Don't ask me why. Because they steal the spirits of people when their eyes burn with a sinister glow in the darkness. It is considered the darkness Pokemon Sableye. So we go ahead and give Sableye a nickname, and the very first thing that pops into my head when I think of Sableye is its diamond eyes. So I go ahead and nickname Sableye Diamond when I eventually finally start to move around and actually nickname it Diamond. And that was the first thing that popped into my head, because Sableye is also a female. I thought Diamond worked out pretty well, even though it is the quote-unquote darkness Pokemon, because when I think of darkness, I actually think of Darkrai, which is not until Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, which I think is the Gen 4? I believe it's Gen 4. Gen 4 is Diamond, Platinum, and Pearl, and then Gen 5 is Black and White. That's right. And then we go ahead and check out on Sableye, which is actually a Jolly nature, which is not very good for a Sableye. Sableye is not meant to be speedy. Sableye is meant to be defensive, and then pull out attacks every once in a while, with Scratch, Foresight, Nightshade, and Astonish, which the moveset is really not that bad, but at the same time, it's a Sableye. Sableye is not gonna get much better than a Sableye. So we go ahead and go back to the PC and actually go ahead and put Sableye into the PC, because we still have a few more encounters ahead of us. We have one to the right of Marville City and one up of Marville City. So we go ahead and heal real quick, because Sableye actually did a little bit of damage to us. And then I kept hitting the speed up button, so I ran right into this trainer, but it didn't take me but a second for North to just go through and get rid of these Pokemon from that Staryu as well. North grew to level 17, and then I switched out into Mom to try to give Mom some more levels, because I really need Mom to level up, and Mom is going to be very beneficial once she's up there in levels and can help out with that electric weakness. Mom went ahead and learned the move Headbutt at 13, and I go ahead and switch these up again so it feels better for me. And then I go ahead and go down here to this rock, which is actually a hidden item. That's the word I'm looking for. And it was actually a net ball, which isn't too bad. When I saw the word ball, though, I was really hoping for it to be a master ball. No lie. But I know we can't be that lucky. I mean, look at the team and the Pokemon we've caught over the past few episodes. It's been insane. From Metagross to Kyogre to a wild Raikou. I mean, that old rod is pretty insane, I'll tell you what. And it comes in clutch again. I actually catch Clefairy, spoils again. I don't like doing the voiceover, but I didn't want to let this gameplay go to waste. So, I bring out Drac, and I keep hitting Supersonic to try to get Clefairy down at least a little bit, because I can't hit Clefairy with anything. And Clefairy was just over here hitting Encore after Encore, and kept snapping out. So eventually I throw a Pokeball, and on the very first ball, we actually catch Clefairy. And this is one of the reasons why it makes me so upset that I have to do a voiceover, is I actually gave a shout out to my mom, which is this Clefairy. On every night of a full moon, groups of these Pokemon come out to play. When dawn arrives, the tired Clefairy return to their quiet mountain retreats and go to sleep nestled up against each other. But I actually go ahead and do a shout out to my mom because Clefairy was always there for me when I started Pokemon. And ever since then, Clefairy's taken care of me, I've taken care of Clefairy, and Clefairy just reminds me of my mom when it comes to nurturing wise. And my mom's name is actually Tammy, so Mom, if you are actually watching this video, I am giving a shout out to you. I love you, Mom, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. And now you are actually part of my Nuzlocke. So I hope you enjoy it. And I go ahead and name Clefairy Tammy after my mother. We go ahead and check out Clefairy real quick after we hit into the Pokemon Center. And Clefairy is actually holding an item, which is really good as well. Clefairy is actually a brave nature, which isn't bad at all. That means her attack is going to be strong, her speed's going to be lowered, but Clefairy is not a fast mon anyways. Clefairy is a tanky mon, just like Sableye. So I think it wasn't too bad. I don't want to add Clefairy just yet. Half of me really wants to add Clefairy, but the other half's like, I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and place Clefairy in the box for now. And then we go ahead and exit out of the Pokemon Center and then go up to Route 111. And I was kind of thinking there wasn't a spot to actually get an encounter up here, but there is. There is this water. It does take a second for the old rod to finally catch a Pokemon, but when we finally do, we have a Goldduck appear, which isn't a bad encounter either. It is another water type, but it is some power in the PC, and I'm not too upset about that. We have some really strong water types. However, if we do go ahead and use a water type, it's not going to be Goldduck. I don't know if you guys saw it in the PC, but we do have Meg, our Kyogre, which we actually caught a few episodes ago. Now, when it came out to this, I had to do the same exact thing that I've been doing for these lower level Pokemon, because I just can't catch them yet. So I go ahead and Supersonic Goldduck, and see if Goldduck wants to stay in its ball, and on the very first ball, just like Clefairy, we were able to capture him. So, Goldduck, I go ahead and read his Pokedex description. The webbed flippers on its forelegs and hind legs, and the streamlined body of Goldduck give it frightening speed. This Pokemon is definitely much faster than even the most athletic swimmer. So with that, and me reading that Pokedex description, the first thing that pops into my head is Michael. And I don't know what goes through my head sometimes, because if I'm not mistaken, I did spell Michael correct, and I was hesitant on myself. I was overthinking it. So I went ahead and spelt it incorrectly. So then my next reaction was, I'm just going to spell you Mike. So we have Mike the Goldduck. And we go ahead and check out Mike the Goldduck here in a second. There we go. Alright, Beagers, you're not too slow behind. And it's a naughty nature. And I do go ahead and check my notes in that same situation, and it lowers special defense and raises attack. So Mike is going to be another glass cannon, which is not terrible, but at the same time, we need some defensive mons on our team to be able to handle certain situations. So I go ahead and place Mike back into the PC after healing up, and then we go ahead on our way to face a few more trainers to get some training in before we go and face the gym in the next episode. Go ahead and leave the Pokemon Center, and then we head over to Route 117 to face another batch of trainers. Now, I do go ahead and have Mom and North up front because they are some of the lower leveled Moms on our team. And then I go ahead and switch out Mom into Drac because I'm not sure Mom can actually handle a Krabby at the moment. And then North, out of nowhere, gets a freeze again. I'm just mind-boggled by how many freezes that this Articuno has gotten. It's insane. I'm really hoping that in this Let's Play that the freeze comes in handy and actually just, I don't know, out of nowhere, it's what we need. We face the next trainer, and it's actually a Celebi. A Celebi! But we do have North, who just goes right through Celebi with a freeze and its powder snows. And then a Regirock decides to pop up on the screen. I knew I had to go out into Hefty. If I didn't, and he used Explosion or Self-Destruct, I was gone. So I used Metal Claw and Regirock, and fortunately enough, he does not use it. He goes for Rock Throw, and I'm like, whew, alright, our Metagross is safe. I bring out Mom against Dodrio because Mom needs to be able to show her stuff. So I use Headbutt a few times, but this Dodrio just keeps using Fury Attack and Growl. So I don't have enough strength to do it. Mom doesn't have it yet. So I go back into North and use Powder Snow, which brings Mom up to level 14, so she's getting there. I go ahead and switch train her again, and then with Absol, I go ahead and bring out Hefty, because Hefty is, again, a bulky mon. I go ahead and use Metal Claw, get the crit, Absol's gone. The next mon that pops up, I still bring out Mom, even though Ground's not good against the Hitmonlee or a fighting type. Bring out North, down goes Hitmonlee. And the next mon that pops up is actually Execute, which, again, North can just go straight through all of these mons. I'm really happy that we have North on the team. North means a lot to me right now and is a very big part of the team. But, I mean, to be fair, our team is really, really strong. I enjoy having everyone on our team, from Drac to Hefty to North to Mom to Tsunami, because we gotta save the best for last on our starters, Tsunami. And now that we finally have a move on Tsunami that isn't going to just keep us for 2 or 3 turns, we can actually use Tsunami a little bit more. Mom finally comes through and is able to face off on her own and uses Bone Club on this Ponyta and finally goes up to level 15. And then Mom comes in again with the headbutts and the flinches and brings down another Mon. So Mom is starting to get into her own, and I'm getting really excited because eventually Mom's going to evolve into a Marowak. Not in this episode, but eventually will. Now, I go back and forth inside that tunnel because I wanted to make sure of myself that we did catch a Mon in that tunnel, which was in fact North, the Articuno. And I go down here to Wanda's house, which I didn't realize at first whose house it was until I talked to the uncle and saw Wally on the right hand side. It's Wally's house. So we go ahead and head back into Route 117 and we face off with this trainer. So Wailord is a huge Pokemon, but North is able to take care of Wailord, especially since it's level 12 to my 18. And this is where I'm going across. Should I do this? I think I'm going to. It's Moltres versus Articuno, the Battle of the Birds. Now, this is where I realize my mic is muted, so I'm going to cut off now, and hopefully this goes through, and I'll see you guys in a second. Oh my goodness, my mic was muted for that entire time. Oh my goodness. Well, we have the Battle of the Birds, Articuno and Moltres. Alright, let's do this. Articuno, show them why you're number one. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Moltres got the burn. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, no, no. Well, I guess this is why Moltres is a little bit stronger than Articuno. Alright, well, Nidoran. Let's bring out Mom, because ground is super effective. I'm really hoping that Mom evolves soon, actually. That would be pretty cool, too. Then Mom will be a bigger addition to the team. I'm going to bring out Hefty. Try to get rid of this Quagsire. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And now we have a Diglett. Let's just get rid of you real quick. Hefty grew to level 20. That's an Alakazam. Who do we have for Alakazam? Who has a high special defense? Alright, well, since North is burned and pretty low, let's bring out Tsunami. Tsunami also has Bite, so goodbye. Alright, let's go back to the Pokemon Center real quick before anything else bad happens. Alright, and let's make our way back to Mauville City. Is it Mauville City or town? Mauville City. Okay. And I think we're gonna call it an episode here. So, if you actually enjoyed this episode, go ahead and hit that like button for me if you haven't already. And I do have a question of the day today as well. With all the Gen 1 power that we have on our team right now, I want to know, what's your favorite from red, blue, and yellow? So, Pikachu, Pidgeot, Gyarados, Articuno, Mew, Mewtwo, any of them, from Legends to Starters. Go ahead and pick out your favorite from Gen 1. So, anything further than that, we'll probably get another question later on. But, right now we're going to start out with Gen 1. My personal favorite when it comes to Gen 1, might actually be Clefable. Clefable has always helped me out when it comes to Gen 1 because, I'm going to say she because they're mostly female, is so powerful. But that's me. So, again, if you like this video, go ahead and make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below on the question of the day. Or again, if you just want to say hi to me, that's fine by me as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you soon.